Hello, Wagner. How are things today?
Hi, teacher. I'm good. What about you?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking. Thank God it's Friday. So I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Oh, great.
Yes. Do you have
But
any
we can,
plans?
yes, I have stay at home
Yes, but
nowadays.
on the weekends, I can change the place in the home. That's the
Oh,
difference.
I see.
Yes, I can go out. I don't have to stay in the office, understand? I can go
Yes.
out. I can walk around the property where
Oh, I
I
see.
live. I can pick up fruit, things that I usually don't have time to during the week.
Oh, yes. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to the street, to the market street. How do I say that street? That's
Street market or farmer's market.
no, it's on the road. You know?
Street on the road?
Yes.
Oh,
The they come and put your tables with fruits. You know?
my tables or their tables?
No, their tables.
Ah, okay. I don't have a table to put on the road. Okay.
How do I call this? Street market?
Yes, or a road market or farmers market.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
If they are the producers, usually they call it farmer market. Okay.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very common in the United States, in Canada, in Europe too, to have farmers market. They come into a place to sell their goods. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in Italy, I remember going to farmers market every week to buy bread and local cheese. Okay, wonderful cheese. Okay, and also bread. Okay, on a farmers market. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Marcos, how are you, my friend?
Hello, teacher. Hello, guys. I'm fine with you.
I'm all right.
Hello.
That's
Okay,
nice to hear that.
is the weather still nice, like around 25 in Salvador, or is it a bit colder now?
No, it's better today.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's still 25.
Well,
No, sorry. Today's 27.
27.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. Okay. And Carol,
Yes. Hi,
are
teacher.
you,
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello, Carol. I'm fine. Do
Hello.
you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Carol, you can check with them. The smell of the classroom yesterday was terrible, right, guys? It was smelling underwear, only men, okay?
I come back,
So,
teacher.
yes, please
Thank
do that,
God.
okay? Or I'm not coming back, okay?
Okay.
All right? Because when it smells underwear, only underwear, I'm out of here, okay?
Okay.
Carol, you were not here yesterday, but Marcos, Wagner, and Mario, they were. We were
Yeah.
talking about the brand new dilemma that the United Kingdom is facing, okay?
Yes, I saw the text,
Material.
but yeah, the material, but I couldn't read. Sorry.
Yes, we started discussing that because you know that the United Kingdom is made of four countries: England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. Okay.
Okay.
And of course, they have had lots of problems in the last two, 300 years because nobody really accepts to be, let's say, a part of England. Understand?
Okay. Yes.
Scotland has tried to become independent many times, and they have been fighting for their independence for hundreds of years. A good example of this was in the movie with Mel Gibson, Braveheart. Okay,
Yes, I know.
yes,
It's a good
and
film.
Ireland, Northern Ireland, not Ireland, is also not very happy with the, let's say, the domain of
Hmm.
England. Understand?
Yeah.
They accept it, but you remember the era, the Ireland Revolutionary Army. They have
Yes.
had many problems. They had many terrorist attacks in England, in London, a lot of bloodshed. Okay.
Yes, I remembered. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm a little
And
old, so I remember.
yes. And now they are going to have problems again. Okay,
Okay.
that's what we started talking about. Because
Okay.
England has simply decided to take lead in the fight against the COVID-19
Mm-hmm.
without asking the other members of the United Kingdom their opinion. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
And they have just imposed a new, let's say, as we saw yesterday, a new core message, not stay home, just stay alert. Okay? And at the same time, the other members of the United Kingdom said, whoops, wait a moment. Here we are still talking about stay home, not alert. Okay?
Yeah.
So we can, as we talked about yesterday, we can expect more problems in the future, in the near future. Okay? Not even in the far distance future. So that's
Yeah.
what we talked about yesterday. Okay? It was the new
Okay.
message just recorded and presented last Sunday. This is a brand new article I got from CNN yesterday. So it's
Okay.
really updated. Okay. I don't remember exactly. Let me see if I can find. Do you guys remember where we stopped? The most striking? I think it was around here. Wasn't it, Wagner? Marcos?
Let me see. On this created.
We didn't read this.
We haven't read this?
No.
No.
How about this?
What's these? I
Yes, we
think
finished that.
we
Exactly.
read
Thank
before.
you. Yes, that's why I stopped here. Okay. The most striking example. Okay. So let's
Mhm.
start here. Since Carol is here today, you guys, I'm sorry, but ladies first, always. Okay. So, Carol,
Okay.
just go ahead. The most
Okay.
striking example.
The most striking example of this come on Wednesday morning, as imagines flooded social media of commuter packet into London's transport networking as large parts of England returned to work. In stark contrasts, there were the three nations which are advising people to stay home, are keeping their economies in striker lockdown. In England, you can now meet one other person outside your household in public. That's not something you can do anywhere else in the UK.
Okay. So, Carol, images.
Mhm.
Okay.
Images,
Yes.
okay?
Flooded social
Flooded,
media. Okay.
okay.
See the word commuters again here?
Yeah.
Remember that I told you that this is a very common word used in English? Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, so here, of commuters, social commuters of commuters. So how would you be able to translate this? Of course, I want you to explain me in English. Oh, images flooded social media of commuters packed into London's transport network. As I told you, we don't have one word to say that in Portuguese. So how would you possibly translate that? Explain that.
Uh, Let me try. I believe it's a person which works from computer or from cell phone.
No, that is telecommuter.
Oh, I see.
Yes, here's only commuters. I explained what this word was, and that's why they use telecommuters when you work from home.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? But
Mm-hmm.
only commuters. I told you, remember, Wagner, I mentioned commuter flights. Remember? Between Washington, D.C. and New York.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But it's
Only
difficult to.
commuter, guys.
Commuter is like the way, the not the yeah, I think it's the way when you explain for us. In your habit to the way that you pass between the point A into the point B.
Yeah, but point A is like your home, and point B is your workplace. That's the idea of commuter. It has nothing to do with Your house in Farol da Barra. Understand?
Yes.
When you go there to see the sunset, you're not commuting. That's the point. So commuter is a guy that is on the way to work. Understand?
I just for
Or
work.
on the way going back from work. It's specific. That's why I told you we don't have a word to explain these in Portuguese.
Only related to work, teacher.
Only related to
Okay.
work.
Okay.
Okay? So
Okay.
like it takes me like 10 minutes to commute. If I stop there, immediately, if you are a native speaker of English, you understand it takes me about 10 minutes to go from my home to my workplace. Understand?
Okay.
And commuters are the guys, the people. You see? So a good example of these, or the most striking, okay, impressive example of this came on Wednesday morning as images flooded. That means they were all over social media of commuters packed into London's transport network as large parts of England returned to work on Monday. In England only. In stark contrast, means in an absolute contrast, the other three nations are telling people, stay home, don't go anywhere. Understand? In England, they already lifted some of the restrictions in relation to the lockdown. And in spite of the rising numbers, like England has already passed Spain, Italy, in number of COVID-19 cases and also in numbers of death as a consequence of the virus, okay? They have lifted some of their lockdown restrictions. So now you can meet one other person outside your household in public. But that's not something you can do anywhere else in the UK. So this can be the beginning of a very serious problem. I don't know if you can measure this in your mind, okay? But when they planned the Brexit, understand, to create physical borders between them and the European countries and to impose a lot of conditions, they didn't think of Northern Ireland, because Northern Ireland and Ireland, they don't have any physical border. Understand? It is possible to cross the street and you are in another country. But in the past, this other country would also be part of the European community, part. But now, no. Understand? So it's even possible that they might request a passport to go to Northern Ireland, even if you're from Southern Ireland. Understand? Which is totally unacceptable for the people there. Understand?
Yeah.
Well, teacher, the idea of the commuters packet is the idea the workers in a crowded place, something like this?
Yes, the subway, or as they call it in London, the tube was crowded with people.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay,
because
perfect. Yes.
everybody returned to work. Understand? So
together, okay.
life was normal. Of course, everybody had to wear masks. Understand? But it was packed anyway. So how many people were probably infected with the virus? And they were inside of the subway, which once the doors are closed, understand, it's chaotic. Imagine in one wagon, you have like 2 or 3 people that are infected. They can transmit the disease to a lot of other people. By the end of the day, nobody knows how many people are going to be infected. Okay?
Okay.
So, Marcus, can you read this other paragraph?
Yes. All these creatives are political headache for Johnson.
Headache
For Johnson, who as well as being prime minister, is also leader of what is officially still the Conservative and Unionist Party.
Unionist party.
Party. Shortly after entering Downing Street last year, Johnson appointed himself Minister for the Union, in a sign of his commitment to strengthening the ties between the four nations after the damage Brexit had done.
Okay. Marcos, in a sign, not
In a
in a sign.
In a sign.
Sign. In a sign. Okay. Of his commitment to strengthening.
Strength.
Oh, I have the TH in the middle. Strengthening. Strengthening means making it stronger, the ties between the four nations after the damage Brexit had already done. Okay? Any
Okay.
question about this part or no? Carol?
No.
Wagner, okay?
I'm okay, teacher.
Okay, Marcos, no problem.
No problem.
I just would like to talk about this party with the Y at the end. This refers to a political group, okay? We say a political party. So when I say the Conservative Party is the conservative group of political people, understand? Here in Brazil, there are many political parties. So this is not a fiesta. It's just a group of people. Yeah.
More or
because
less, no? In Brazil, more or less.
I think it's more than a fiesta, okay? It's an eternal fiesta, okay?
Yeah.
Now the political parties. But we have the Communist Party, we have the Conservative Party, we have the Labor Party, okay? And we also have presidents without a party, okay? I don't know where, but it's possible, okay?
Yeah.
So, Wagner, you got the next one. Senior Conservative Unionists.
Okay, senior conservative unionists told CNN that their perception is that Johnson did this to keep his own party happy, rather than out of sincere desire to protect the union. Their concern isn't that he actively wants to see an end of the union, but that the union he wants to preserve is one of with England at center of it, run from London.
Can you see? Can you see between the lines? Can you? This is a very important point here. You have to read between the lines. He did this to protect his political party. Understand? He didn't think about the union of the four nations. He was only thinking about doing what was good for his party. Because in a certain way, he's just like our president. He lifted the restrictions of the lockdown because the economy is bad. Understand? It was already bad after the Brexit. Now, this came right after the Brexit. Understand? So it's, let's say, terrible, not even bad. And then,
have you heard about our healthy minister?
yeah, it didn't last 1 month, huh? Amazing.
1 month.
29 days. Okay, that was like a rabbit, very fast.
Yes.
Okay. So, any problem about this part or no?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go. Oh, you guys are reading CNN, huh? And everything is fine, no problem. Oh, I'm very happy. Marcos, it's your turn again. The problem is.
No, it's Carol now, but can you?
Okay. So,
It's me?
Carol,
Yeah.
I have nothing against you, but I prefer a woman's voice. So,
Okay. The problem is this view of the union isn't particularly popular in any corner of the UK outside of the capital. English voters, especially Leave voters, tend to prioritize their English identity and want English interesting put ahead of the union, says Denham. Denham?
Denham.
Denham. it's not that they are anti-union, it's that their idea of Britishness is as
Britishness.
British, oh my gosh, Britishness
Yeah, just
is
Carol, remember what I told you one day.
Britishness. Yeah,
Britishness
Britishness is
separated at the
as,
suffix.
okay, Britishness is as an extension of Englishness and English interests. If the two come into conflict, then they prioritize English interests. Oh my
Okay,
gosh, a
Carol.
lot of
Yes, yes, but here we need to fix the pronunciation in some words too. Oh, English voters.
English voters. Okay.
Okay, especially
Okay.
the leave voters tend to prioritize. Prioritize. It's my
Prioritize.
priorities, and the verb is prioritize. Okay.
Okay.
So the rest, no. Britishness is an extension of Englishness. Understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, do you understand what they are talking about here? Oh, the problem is this view of the union, when they say union is the four nations, isn't particularly popular in any corner of the UK outside of the capital. Not in any corner of England, in any corner of the UK. Understand? So we are talking about Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. English voters, especially the Leave voters, tend to prioritize their English identity, and they want English interests put ahead of the union. Understand?
Teacher,
But yes,
when they say leave voters, what does this mean?
the ones that actually go there and vote, because it's not mandatory to vote like it is in Brazil. Understand?
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, they want to prioritize their English identity, and they want English interests to put ahead of the union. So it's more important their interest. And when I say their interest, I mean the English people, people from England. So that's why their idea of Britishness, when I say Britishness, refers to the four nations, is an extension of Englishness and English interest. Then I refer only to the people from England. If the two come into conflict, fuck them. Understand? Prioritize the English interest. So if it's a United Nations, United Kingdom, it shouldn't be like this. That's why they may face serious problems ahead. Understand? They are just thinking about themselves. They are not thinking about the Union. They are thinking about England. But the United Kingdom is made up of 4 different countries. Okay? So, Marcos, read the next paragraph if you have no more questions about the previous one.
Okay. This
Centric view.
Okay. This English-centric view of the Union understandably grates.
Greats.
Grates elsewhere in the UK. There is a sense in Wales that Westminster doesn't understand or particularly respect the evolution, says Roger Owen Scully, professor of politics at Cardiff University and chair of the Political Studies Association. When it comes down to it, they see the devolved government as a necessary irritation. Coronavirus has definitely both some of these into sharper focus.
Okay, definitely. Okay, brought some of these into sharper focus. Sharper. Okay, understand the idea of sharper here?
No. Sharper.
Yeah.
Me
Yes.
neither.
Yes. Remember when we used to write with a pencil?
Yeah.
Remember that sometimes we need to stop writing because it was time to sharpen the pencil?
Yeah.
So it would be sharp. Sharp is when a knife, for example, you're going to cut a tomato and doesn't cut the tomato, it squashes the tomato, understand? So if you get it sharpened, it will cut very well. So when I say, brought some of these into sharper focus, that means the focus, the idea became very precise, understand? Very sharp, okay? Any vocabulary problem about this part? You see, this English-centric view of the Union only favors England and not the rest of the UK. That's what they are trying to discuss here, understand? The guy says he respects the devolution, this professor here. But when it comes down to it, when it's time to implement it, when it comes down to it, they see devolved governments as a necessary irritation because coronavirus has just made it is very clear for them that the English people are not really interested in their, let's say, way of life, in their way of doing things. They are only doing what is important for England, okay?
Yeah.
Any other problem about this part or no?
I have one problem, the grades.
It was here, yes?
Yes,
Okay.
understandably great.
Yeah, but great, here's, the pronunciation is exactly the same of great, okay? Like have a great day, okay? Here's great, but the great here is a verb, okay? That means this point of view practically is graded all over. It disappears, okay? This word is also used like when you, for example, you buy a very nice Parmigiano Reggiano to put on top of your pasta. Understand? You buy a piece of it and then you need to grate it in order to spread it on top of your pasta. Understand? This center, this point of view gets dissolved when it goes to, you know, that's the idea.
Yes.
Grades elsewhere in the UK. Understand? You can, of course, you can buy the supermarket grated cheese, but it's not as good as the real big piece of it that you grate yourself in your house. Understand? Carol, any problem or can we go on? Max, can we go on?
Yes, teacher, it's okay.
You see, Northern Ireland, again, a place between. Okay? So let's see what is the problem now after Brexit. Max.
Okay. The union question is arguably most complicated in Northern Ireland. The National Assembly at its Stormont relies on a power sharing agreement between Unionists and Republicans. The island of Ireland's recent histories mean that literally no issue can hit Stormont without becoming politicized.
Politicized. Okay. Yes. Any problem about this part, or we can go on to understand the rest?
It's okay.
Arguably, that means that is discussed, that is argued, okay? It's an adverb from the verb to argue, okay?
Stormont's a place, yeah?
Stormont, yes. This is like the 10 Downing Street, remember?
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw.
This is the political address or place in Northern Ireland, understand?
Oh, great.
Okay. Wagner, can you read the next part?
Yes. Coronavirus has presented the Republicans with an opportunity to argue that an all-Ireland approach would be preferable to Northern Ireland, keeping in lockstep with Britain. When you think of it from the nationalist point of view, Ireland is one island. We can shut down the external borders and handle this as one island. It makes total sense to them, says Katie Hour from Queen's University, Belfast.
I loved your pronunciation in the name of the woman. Okay, that was very good. Hayward, Hayward.
Hayward.
Yes. You see, sometimes, as I told Carol one day, when you see a big word, look for separating it into parts. Like hey, ward. I have two words there. Understand?
Hmm.
So
Yes.
Kathy Hayward, okay? Understand this part. The virus presented Republicans with an opportunity to argue. You know, argue is more than discuss. Brazilians
Hmm.
usually say, I had a bad discussion. A bad discussion is not a discussion. A
Hmm.
discussion is only when you present a proposal. This is to
Mm.
discuss. When you have a violent discussion, it's an argument. It's to
Hmm.
argue, not to discuss. Brazilians always confuse argue and discuss, solve and resolve. Okay, be careful. So this an opportunity to argue that an all Ireland approach would be preferable because Ireland is not even in the continental UK. Understand? It's a
Hmm.
separate place. Okay, preferable to Northern Ireland, keeping in lockstep with Britain. That means
What means lockstep, teacher?
follow the same procedures, guidelines,
Mm.
understand?
Mm.
But when you think of it from the nationalist point of view, Ireland is one island. We can shut down the external borders and handle these as one island. It makes total sense to them. Understand? So
Hmm.
this professor from the University of Belfast. Belfast is the capital of Northern Ireland. Dublin is the capital of Ireland. So when I say Ireland, it's Ireland, part of the community, the European community. Northern Ireland is part of the UK. All right? Marcus, can you read the next paragraph? However,
Teacher again, but I think it's Carol again now. Carol.
okay.
Again?
I'm looking at the little pictures I have
Oh
in
my
front of me.
gosh.
Your turn, Carol. However,
Okay.
when Marcus
However,
doesn't want to read, he says, I think it's
yes, it's kind
Carol.
of, he saw the vocabulary and think, oh,
Carol!
this is kind
Your turn, Carol.
of,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It's okay. However, Unionists would point to the importance of UK government financial supporting during the crisis. Hayward notes the five-party executive has had to look in two directions at once to manage the fact that Northern Ireland is very much a place between.
Okay. Carol, was not to look, was to look, had to look. I think.
Sorry, to look.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no. Yes, you just didn't pay attention. Okay.
Okay.
Any problem about this vocabulary problem? Understand the point of this Hayward professor?
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's Marcus.
Ah, yeah. Not me. While no one believes that the COVID-19 pandemic will bring about the death of the Union, Johnson's handling of the crisis has exacerbated,
Exacerbated
exacerbated
divisions.
divisions between its four nations at a time when the UK was already in the middle of an
Existential crisis.
existential crisis over Brexit.
Okay. You see, they were not even able to solve the problems concerning Brexit when these COVID-19 came on, and they are facing more problems again. Okay, because as I told you, they still have not handled the problem of creating a physical border between Northern Ireland and Ireland, which is practically impossible. You don't, in many places, you don't even have a river to separate the two countries now. In the past was just one, okay? you could go to Northern Ireland with your driver's license. Okay? Now, probably you need to have a passport stamped. But the problem is there is no station there to put immigration officers to stamp your passport. So how can they control it? Understand? Sometimes it was interesting for the people from Northern Ireland to cross the street and go to Ireland to buy cigarettes, beer, because it was cheaper than in Northern Ireland that uses pound, the British pound. British pound today is like more than 8 reals, and the euro is like 7. So you can see there is a difference of like 1 real per pound. Okay, one of our money, real per pound. So it was cheaper for the North Irish people to go to South Ireland. But now, theoretically, this is not possible because of Brexit. Understand?
They accept the pound and the iron,
Yeah,
the soft part.
that's the problem. If you go to England with euros, they don't accept it. So if you go to Europe with pounds, they don't accept it either. You have to change it. Understand? In a bank, or you have to look for an exchange currency house. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is a problem. You always end up losing money when you exchange money in a house because they charge commission. Okay?
Yeah, true.
So this is no good.
Teacher, I believe they can do an agreement just for the island to do the same, you know, an
Yes.
agreement to permanent the same with the same agreement as usually.
But Wagner, this is exactly the point. They insist in the idea that the 4 nations are not divided. There is just one union.
Mhm.
Understand? But everything concerning North Ireland is totally different of things that concern Wales, Scotland, and England. Understand?
Mhm.
So there you have the same people, but now the same people are from 2 different nations. Understand?
Mhm.
Completely different nations. So I haven't had a chance to go to Northern Ireland to see what is necessary for like European passport holders, what they have to present now. If we need to go through like a check, if there is no check, you only show the passport, understand? Because now they are not together anymore, okay?
Mhm.
In the past, I don't know, maybe you didn't pay attention, but at the airport of London, when you arrive at the immigration, there is a sign, British citizens and European citizens this way, all other citizens that way, understand? So now
Mhm.
probably this sign doesn't exist anymore. Now it's British citizens this way. So you don't have to go through immigration. But the European citizens have to go. Understand? The problem
Mhm.
started there. Okay? In Europe, when all the countries are unions, part of the union market or the European market, you don't need to do anything. I remember that many, I think about 20, 25 years ago, I did a big tour in Europe with my wife. And every time we crossed a border, it was necessary to stop, present a passport, at the time, a Brazilian passport. We need to have the passport stamp, then we could go. Today, even these checkpoints have all been closed. Understand? In Europe.
Mhm.
There is no more checkpoints. There is no more immigration. You just drive through. Understand? For example, I was in Belgium 3 months ago, and I would go shopping in France. You wouldn't even see a police car at the border. Understand?
Mhm.
Because all the borders are free. Not now. Not now. Now they are all shut. Okay? To return to Brazil, I already had to stop at the border of Belgium. There was a police block, and there was also a police block right after the border on the French side. Understand? but because of the quarantine, not because of the different countries, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is more serious in Ireland. Carol, any problem here or no?
No, teacher, thanks.
Who's gonna read it now, Marcus? Is it Carol again?
Wagner.
No, I
Wagner.
think it's Wagner.
Where starts the English-centric?
The English-centric idea of union.
Okay, the English-centric idea of union was fostered as part of fostered as a part of Imperial Britain, says Dehan. The truth is that our idea of the union lost its sense of purpose. Decades ago, in that time, the other parts of the union asserted their identity or the North Island identities. If government really wants the unity to survive, it has to be a partnership between all the nations.
Okay. Is there
Teacher,
any? Yes.
do you think like in the future the four countries you fight with
Remain
each
together?
other? No, not to remain together, but it's split off like they try to become independent of the UK, of the England.
England. Yes.
Yeah, of the England.
Marcus, to be honest with you, this is a very old desire that the people have. Understand? Many Irish from Northern Ireland, they don't want to be part of the UK. That's why you had so many problems in the past. Understand?
Yeah.
Many people, you talk to everyone in Scotland, everyone at least I have had the opportunity to talk. They don't want to be part of the UK. So Brexit was already a bad sign for them, understand? And these new rules is another big one. So I really don't know what's going to happen in the future. If they will remain. Yes, Carol.
Oh, teacher, I don't know a lot of things about UK and the economy of these countries, but if we have these four countries in this area, the Irish, for example, we don't have a economics problem, because the sensation that I have, the main polo, I don't know if it's, I can use polo, the main economy is the UK, and the other countries
In England, you
depend,
mean?
yes, in England, sorry.
Yeah.
And the other countries depends of the England, the economic, in the economic way. I don't know if it's good for these other countries. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know now nothing about anything.
England, let's say that makes up 80% of the UK. Understand?
Yeah.
So the other three countries make up like 20%. So of course they are lower in importance. Understand? But at the same time, they don't want to bow down to the English court anymore. Understand?
Yeah.
That is the problem. And if England insists on thinking about only themselves, they are going to have problems. Max, listen to me, okay?
Teacher, the other three countries, can they survive? If
Yes,
they
this is my
money,
point.
like without the money of England,
Yes, they can.
they have the
Wales,
like
I'm concerned about Wales because Wales is much, much smaller than even maybe Espírito Santo in Brazil. Understand?
Yeah.
You could put like a 50 Wales inside of Bahia, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, practically. But Scotland, yes, they have a lot of money from exports of whiskey, you know, like when you drink a scotch.
Ah, yes.
Okay? In Northern Ireland, they also have a very large agricultural and even industrial areas there, understand? So they could survive. I'm only worried about Wales. I've been there only once or twice to Cardiff, and I don't know what they can do there, understand? Because if you look in the map, Wales is a little piece of England in the southwestern part of England, understand? But it's inside of England. Scotland is the northern part, and Ireland is on the other side. It's another island, okay?
So economically, these other countries can survive without
Scotland
the England.
and Northern Ireland, I believe.
Except, of course, Wales.
I don't know about Wales. Only Wales.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. But the problem is everything is being like English centric and not British centric. Understand? They are just making decisions based on their needs at the moment. They are not thinking about the other countries. That's why it's going to be strange in the near future, not even in a distant future. Because when they decided to go for the Brexit, they decided, England decided, and the other countries. Understand? Exactly. Yes. The other countries were never happy about that because, well, Scotland produces whiskey, but what about the rest? They get imported from Europe, understand? Now they depend only in imports from England. England doesn't produce everything they could get from France, from Italy, from Germany, understand? And now they have to pay tax, import tax, because it's not the same rules anymore after Brexit. Okay? Understand the idea of fostered, like a very common movies, a foster home, foster parents, okay, was fostered, was sponsored, okay, as part of the Imperial Britain. Okay, let me see if we have anything else to talk about here. Yes, only this. I'll do I'll read the last part. The question is, are the English, who make up over 80% of the United Kingdom, really bothered enough about saving the Union to do so? What do you think?
If the Queen invests her money in the other countries, like you said that the Queen has a lot of money, receive a lot of money per day.
Yeah, like $1 million a day in dividend.
So the other countries can survive, but in this way, I don't know. Because you said the North Ireland and the South Ireland is like is so close between them. I don't know if they can survive.
But the question here is, do you think the English is really bothered enough about saving the Union or no?
No.
It's like, let's save us, okay? And like, fuck the rest, understand?
Yeah.
Because they make up 80% of the kingdom. So the rest, the other 3 countries, represent only 20%. So are they worried about saving the Union or saving their asses, saving themselves, okay? They're worried about saving themselves.
Yes, for sure.
And this is exactly the problems that you can expect to see in the next few months, okay? Or maybe next few weeks, I don't know, okay? The only thing I know is like what is happening there is exactly what is happening in Brazil. Our president says, everybody should go back to work. You don't need to wear a mask. And every governor has a different opinion. But there we are talking about 4 countries, not 4 states of one country. And then one country, let's say our president, is telling the other countries what they should do. Understand?
Yes.
Like, lift all the restrictions, no more lockdown in the other countries. Are you kidding me? We are not prepared to lift the restrictions. Like Northern Ireland, maybe, I don't know if they are ready for lifting all the restrictions, understand? I don't know if the hospitals there are as good as the hospitals in London. Theoretically, should be the NHS. Remember, the National Health Service. But I don't know if the hospitals are as good as the hospitals in England, or the one that was able to save the life of Prime Minister, the English Prime Minister Johnson. Okay, we don't know. The only thing I know is we are going to see some very bad arguments in the next few weeks or so. Keep an alert for this, not stay alert, okay? Just observe the news to see what's going to happen in the next few weeks. I think there are going to be serious consequences of this, okay? Probably United Kingdom will not be that united anymore. But this is my personal opinion. I don't know. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, okay?
Thank you
I
for you
will have
guys.
a nice conversation with the CEO of Descubra o Mundo over the weekend. I will be in favor of continuing the classes normally from next week on. But I saw at Zoom that all classes were scheduled up to today. There's nothing for Monday, but I don't know. I'll try to convince him to let me continue with the classes, okay?
Yes, teacher,
Probably
appreciate it.
probably I'll see you guys on Monday again, okay?
Okay, I hope
Okay.
see you again.
Yes. Okay.
Have
Have
a
a
good
nice
weekend.
weekend. You too. You too. Try
For
to
you too.
rest. Just for a change. Try to rest. Okay?
Okay.
Marcos, you try to talk more to your crush. Maybe she'll become your real girlfriend, all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye-bye. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
See you all.
Nice weekend. Bye-bye.